Good morning, folks. We are in Saratoga, New York, and we are going to something called the Breakfast and Breeding Farm Tour. So we do breakfast trackside and watch the early morning workouts. And then we go to one of the local breeding farms for thoroughbreds, and they let us tour their facility. We did this in 2023.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. We're going back to the same farm just because we know what the experience will be like. And we're just finishing up our stay at the Harvest Host and heading off to the track. So we'll show you when we're pulling in. So you can just do breakfast at Saratoga, the buffet breakfast, which we'll show you. And then I think it was 2 years ago, they started this, matching it as an additional add-on to go to the breeding farms. So if you ever come to Saratoga, either one is nice to do. And here's an example of the people showing up early. It's the gates open at 7 o'clock. It's 7:17, and people are already setting up their spots for the day.
Look at all those. Look at all those already covered up. Goodness gracious.
And again, you don't touch anybody's stuff. The rules of Saratoga.
They even have, some of them have names on them.
We will have to walk through here during the race day to show you how
Full it
crazy
is. Yeah, pretty much if you can find a spot, you put your chair there. I like those ones right there. All right, here's where we're going to have some breakfast this morning.
Morning, how you doing? Not too bad? Yeah. Two, yep.
Done the breeding tour before?
Yes.
I heard it yesterday. It's my first season working here, but I had a lot of people come back yesterday because I worked upstairs as well and said it was fantastic.
Awesome. Perfect.
The server will be right over to help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy breakfast in the tour.
Appreciate it.
Some ketchup, hot sauce.
Probably ketchup, please.
Here's the 007 stables.
Thank you.
Fresh fruit and berries.
What kind would you like?
Surprise me.
One of these?
No. One of those, sure. Yogurt and fruit?
You want eggs?
Yes, please.
French toast?
Sure. We have some eggs, and cheese, and salsa. French toast. syrup.
Hash browns?
Yes, please. Hash brown casserole. I might be running out of room. Want me to hold the plate? Bacon. Yes, please. And sausage.
You want sausage?
No, just bacon, please. That's good. Look at that plate. That looks good. Want to throw me a dab of butter on that French toast before you grab everything? Yeah, thank you. All right.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Enjoy breakfast. Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. Where are you going?
You okay?
Yep. Here comes another bunch.
There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, get out of the picture.
Another neat thing to do at Saratoga, it's called Tailgate at the Turn. What are there, maybe 12 spots? You get to bring your vehicle in here, you park back right up to a picnic table, have bedding windows, and this is your view of the track. We did this a couple years ago. It's rather expensive because it includes 6 admissions to the racetrack. But it's a neat place to watch the race from.
Yes, they do. Start walking that way, I guess.
Good morning. Number 3, we'll go to the start getting out. Hi. Good morning. Good morning.
Beautiful day in Saratoga.
Hi.
This side good?
Sure.
Can see out?
All this kind of stuff and it could have just been.
That's the guy.
All right, guys. It was a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Are you okay if we record for a YouTube channel?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
As long as you tag us and mention us.
100%.
Crazy. All right, I guess we got everybody. Okay, so welcome to Old Tavern Farm. I'm Walt Barisanock. Me and my wife, there she is back there, Michelle. There you go. She can be the title guide. And we own Old Tavern Farm. All right, so I'll tell you, we're happy to be part of Breakfast and Breeding. This is our 4th year to do this. Actually, we started this with Naira back in 2000. Well, the idea was formed in 2019. It was supposed to be launched in 2020. That didn't happen. It didn't happen in 21 either, so we didn't launch it until 2022. Any event, little background on Old Tavern Farm. So Old Tavern Farms, obviously, we breed thoroughbred racehorses here, New York bred thoroughbred racehorses. But we do some other things here too as well. We have a cut flower farm, which is just literally down the street down here. We plant 15,000 seeds a year. We also have a winery. We have 3,000 vines here at Saratoga. We also own our own plots of grapes in the state of Washington as well. So we grow grapes on both coasts. Everything gets made back here. And we have a distillery, which is down the street there as well. So we make all kinds of distilled products made with all local grains that come off of local farms, okay? So basically, we're gonna go ahead and do a tour later. There's a tent over there. If you wanna have a free samples, free tastings, feel free to stop over there, okay? So basically, yeah, so we can sell you flowers, wine. We can sell you flowers, wine, whiskey, and a racehorse if you want, okay? And the good news, all the above, we take cash, Apple Pay, credit cards, Venmo, we take it all. So if there's anything here that you want to buy, we'll sell anything, all right? All right, there you go.
Give them,
That's it, right, exactly. So let's talk about what the agenda is going to be today, okay? So first, I'll tell you, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the facilities that are needed to breed thoroughbred racehorses. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some yearlings out of the barn, and we're going to talk about basically what we do to basically get ready for sales, because the sales for us, okay, at least some of these horses, are basically happening on Sunday and Monday. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about these yearlings, and I'll take you, I'll explain what the yearling is, okay? But we're going to have these yearlings, and we're going to go ahead and talk about how we get them ready for sale, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what the buyers, how buyers basically look at these horses and how they go about buying them. So the good news is, if you want to jump over to the sale and buy one over there, you can do that by the time you get out of here, all right? So there's another good portion, all right? And then we'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of the auction process. People find this pretty interesting. It might not be as straightforward as you think it might be. So we'll get a little bit of background into that. Then we're going to talk about mares, okay? So obviously you need moms and you need dads, right? Got to have a mom, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about how we buy mares and what we look at when we go ahead and breed our mares for what sires, all right? So, you know, you should have a pretty good background when you go back to the track and you take a look at that program and you look and it says breeder, like, you know, talk about the sire, the dam and stuff like that. You have a little bit more information to make your judgment on here. All right. So follow me into the barn. I'm going to walk this direction. I'm going to talk about the New York State Thoroughbred breeding program. So the state of New York has one of the most robust thoroughbred breeding programs in the country. Believe it or not, it's even more robust than what they have down in Kentucky. Okay, so basically, the New York State Thoroughbred Development Fund is a fund that is basically revenues from parimutuel on the track, okay? The Racino down in Aqueduct down there, okay? As well as any app that's on your phone that you bet on. A portion of those revenues go into this fund. And what this fund does, it supports deer breeders. How it supports it is if we go ahead and sell a horse, or if we race a horse and it finishes first, second, or third at either Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, or the Finger Lakes, we get an awards check, okay? So let me give you an example. Over Belmont weekend, we had two winners. One that we basically owned ourselves and one that we sold. Both those came in. Those are two $10,000 checks apiece, okay? So we got $20,000 checks over that weekend. That helps pay the bills of the farms, okay? There's 300 thoroughbred farms in the state of New York. Just in Saratoga County alone, there's 30 of them. Saratoga County is the hub for thoroughbred breeding in the state of New York. All right, so basically there's 1.3 million acres that are horse pastures in the state of New York. It employs 15,000 people, anywhere from the farriers, meaning the blacksmiths that work on horses, the vets, the feed people, all kinds of equipment that's associated with it. All right, so it's a big part of New York State agricultural business. All right, very important. Okay. A little bit about Old Tavern Farms again. Okay. Back in the day, and I'm talking, this goes even back to the 1700s. And this property, which goes all the way down the lake and went all the way up the street up here, was Palmer's Maple Shade Farm. Okay, it eventually was sold to the Brown family in the late 1800s. Okay, and the Browns had it for pretty much up and through the late 50s. Okay, this is why this street that we're on is called Brown Road. Okay, because it was owned by the Brown family. Any event, basically I'm from the area here. My parents bought a place down at the bottom of the hill in 1957, so I've been in this section of Saratoga pretty much, not pretty much, it's been all my life, okay? So, but any event, so as I got into thoroughbred racing with a friend of mine, okay, and basically we were racing horses. He happened to have a small farm on the other side of Saratoga. And I would buy a mare with him and we would start breeding, okay? And what I found is I kind of like the breeding more than I like the racing. Nothing wrong with racing. Yeah, we need racing. We still race. Nothing like winning. Racing, right? But it's a little more hands-on when you're doing the farming thing. So basically, what I did is, you know, I haven't been in the area here and knowing the history of the property, but the property was all broken up. It was all chopped up. All chopped up. Developers bought something, they were hanging on to it, they built subdivisions. People just bought it separately, this old Palmer's Maple Shade / Browns Road farm. And then what I did is I said, geez, I wonder if I could get these properties back together again and recreate the farm. So it took me 5 years. I bought 11 property. Wait, thank you. I already said it. Okay, you know, 43 years a week. 43 years a week. Okay, so we bought 11 properties, we ripped down 11 buildings, and we kind of put the farm back together. Okay, that made zero financial sense, I can tell you that right now. All right, but here we sit, and we're here. So, any event, as we then started to develop this as a farm, we had to go ahead and clear pastures back out again. It was quite the project. Build this building. We were getting a lot of the history that came up out of here. So again, as you can see, there was back in the day, there was plenty of horses here. Okay, so there's a history of horses. Yeah, those are actually horseshoes that came from a horseshoe pit. These over here are actually a horseshoe. Yeah, that's a big horse right there. Hopefully that's a plow horse. Hopefully we're not breeding any. Okay, because that would not be good for the racing thing. One thing that's really interesting about part of history here, and this is a 1913 New York State license plate. Yeah, and I'll tell you, what's interesting about 1913, that's the same year that the Model T came out, the first production car, right? So there's probably a good chance that this license plate was located on the Model T. So, any event, and even as today, stuff keeps coming out of the ground. Now on this property was also a tavern. Okay, that was part of the Palmer's Maple Shade, Brown Road. It was here Basically, it was dated to be in early 1800s. It was located where that other building now is located. It was all dilapidated. We really couldn't save it. But what we did is that we took these columns out of it, okay, just to carry a piece of that history along with us. And this is kind of how we got our name, because as we were developing the farm, people were going, are you building that farm up by that old tavern? So after I kept getting that question, I said, well, I guess we have to call it this old tavern. So again, a little bit of history on Old Tavern Farm. Now let's talk about horses and breeding and things. All right. Tyler's going to bring out a yearling, okay? And somebody asked me, what is a yearling, okay? Okay, so how it works in basically thoroughbred breeding is you have to breed between January and June. That's the only time you can breed thoroughbred racing. You can't breed in July, August, September. Everybody gets bred their racing. And then everything happens on a calendar year. So let's say you had a birth in May. Let's say, okay, we had a birth this past May. When it comes to January 1st, he's going to be 1 year old. Now, he's technically not one. It wouldn't be one until that following May. No, everything happens on a calendar year. So everybody born January, June, once it goes to the next January 1st, they're 1 year old. What you're looking at here, these guys are 1 year old. Now, all these guys, because we're now into August, everybody's 1 year old. Some of these might be a year and a half. My other guy might only just be a year old. All right. So everything after that, if you're a 2 year old, if you're a 3 year old, okay, those are the ones that run the Kentucky Derby and now the Triple Crown races. Okay, by the calendar year, they're all 3 years old. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, so his father is early voting. Okay, early voting is the son of Gun Runner. Okay, that might ring a bell, maybe to some people. Okay, but Gun Runner, very successful racehorse. Early voting was successful racehorse. Early voting won the Preakness at a time that was faster than American Pharoah and Justified, and that's why he ended up being a sire. So this is his first year that his horses are going to sale. All right. So this is a brand new sire. All right. So now, what does a buyer look like? This is going on right now. Okay. The first thing they're going to look at is what they call confirmation. What is confirmation? How the horse looks. They want to see an athlete. All right. That's what they're trying to envision. They're trying to envision, all right, this horse looks like this. That means he can run. He's going to be an athlete. Let's talk about a couple of things that they're going to look at. First thing you're going to take a look at is basically this kind of neckline, okay? So you can see his neck here, all right? Now, he's got what I'll call a medium type of neckline. He doesn't really have a long neckline, but it's not short either. If you have a short one, they're going to kind of ding you on that because in theory, that long neckline, they're envisioning long strides, long, big lope strides that are taking up a lot of ground, okay? So he's got a medium type of neckline, all right? So, you're probably not going to take a bite off of it, but, when they're looking at confirmation, they prefer to see a longer neckline, okay? Then they're going to take a look at what we call the top end here, all right? And this is the hip. They want to see a nice big hip. This guy has got a nice big hip. The hip, in their view, is the engine that drives the horse forward. Nobody's picking this, okay? That guy has got a hip, which also means this. When you take a look at that hip, okay, and kind of where it starts to break over his front end, it's quite a bit higher, which usually means this guy's not done growing, okay? So basically, he's got more growing to do, all right? So again, very positive. He's got a very good hip, okay? Yeah, basically top end, okay? This front end is very robust too. This shoulder that comes out of the neckline, this guy is solidly built. Oh, good. That's unbelievable. Okay. This guy's got a very good, he's got a very good front, solid type shoulder. So that confirmation, they're going to like that hip. They're going to like that nice front end. They're going to say, neck is maybe not that much, but there's a lot of parts to really like here. He's got very good bone. You can see a nice solid bone here, all right? And when you look at overall, he's put together pretty good. Now, this guy really hasn't been sales prepped yet. We have done some, but, we could probably lose a little bit down in there, okay? Because, you want to look to be a premium athlete. You don't want to look like the for the beer league. You know, and that's got a little bit of a belly on there that, you know, as we get closer to the sale, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about that. We're going to tighten that thing up a little bit. You know, well, take a look like athletes. All right. One of the key components.
I was going to do that.
We're going to get to that part.
I was going to.
Okay, we're not in the story.
Gotta sit up.
We're gonna get to that part of the story. Okay, one of the other key components of confirmation is they're gonna want to take a look at how he walks. And what I mean is this: they're gonna look at the front of him, okay, and they want to see if those hooves are going straight or one of them are toeing out or toeing in. All right, and whether his knees are what they call offset. And what I mean by the knees, right? It's like our knees, I guess you'd call them. All right, right here. When you look at these knees, they almost look like a fist that's like this, you know, right? And what they want to look at is that they want to see if they're straight or if they're a little, what they call offset. Offset in, offset out. The theory behind that is this. When a horse is trained, if the knees are offset, there's a potential there in training, the horse could go lame. If the horse goes lame, you have to take a break on it. Obviously, it's not going to the track, you know? So basically, the better conformation, right? Nice and straight here. Nice and straight here, the better they like. All right, so actually, why don't you walk that guy to the top and walk him down, and let's see what his front end looks like.
And when you have a buyer, he would be standing here doing the same.
You go over, I'll tell you, you can go over there right now, and you're going to see exactly what we're doing here is going on over there, which I'd encourage you to go over. You can go
Where
right
is
over
that?
right at the Fasten Pavilion, right across from Saratoga Racetrack. It's right across the street. Fasten Pavilion.
I think you're gonna talk about
No, you can go right back in. All right, let me see one more time. Sorry, Ash, I was in here. See, I talked too much about the well-behaved. I shouldn't shut my mouth. All right, but this is part of what they have to learn. Okay, they have to be well-behaved because they have to show right. Because we got about 2 minutes that a buyer's looking, and it's either yay or nay. You know. All right. So as he's coming down, okay, we're gonna have a tough time looking here. All right, let's see if we can catch him quick. Okay, but take a look at his front end.
nice.
Pretty good. He might probably got maybe a slight offset on this knee, but you can see
Yeah.
he basically walks pretty good. He might have just a little bit, it's not too bad, on the front knee. Okay, so overall his conformation is pretty solid. If there's one hit, and I'll give you the deal here. The reason why he's not in this sale here is because he's a little bit short. Okay, short works against him. Okay, if he was this much taller, he'd probably be at this sale or some other sale. But we're going to the October sale, which means we're going to give him another couple of months because remember what I talked about that hip being way above. We think he's still got room. He's going to have a growth spurt. If he gets a little taller, he's going to be in good shape. Basically, what do we do to sales prep to kind of fix a couple of those things that we talked about? Okay, first thing we're going to look at is the nutrition. Okay, how do we change the nutrition? And what we can do, okay, to get rid of this, all right, we can change his diet a little bit. Okay, we're also going to get it through exercise as well. We're going to change the diet a little bit. Okay. What he gets, how much food he gets, we can start to regulate that, okay? If we have some yearlings that need to put on some weight, they need to bulk up, obviously we can boost the nutrition up various ways, all right? We can even get this hip to be a little bit taller by adding oil to the diet. Now this guy's got a nice big hip, so we're not worried about it, but we've had some yearlings, a couple of ones that went over there, we felt they needed a bigger hip, we put more oil. Okay, in their diet, all right, and that helps build fat over the top of that hip. So nutrition will be one of the very important parts that we're going to go ahead and basically do to this guy to get him sales prep. Okay, exercise, all right. He's got to look like an athlete, so he needs exercise. Like I said, he can't look like he's coming out of the beer league someplace. Okay, so basically, because keep in mind, all right. This confirmation, it's a beauty contest. When they bring these horses out, and seriously, go on over there because it's open to anybody. You'll see all this activity going out. People pulling horses like this. It's a beauty contest. They're trying to figure out who can run by this. Who knows, right? It's like going to the Miss America pageant looking for a Olympic athlete. Is that the way that you pick a athlete? No, but this is what we do in the horse business. Okay, like, we go, wow, he looks like an athlete. He's got to be able to run, right? This is what they do in the horse business. So we need to exercise them. So we have an exercise across the street, which is a big carousel. We can put up 6 horses on there, and basically we can adjust a different speed, and we can start building up their body so they look like a athlete. All right. Basically, we're going to also work on their coats. Now, notice that those 2 guys were in the barn here. Okay. Why were they in the barn?
Get out of the sun.
That's perfect. Exactly right. So you must know a little something about this. All right. So what we want to do is we want to keep them out of sun. The sun bleaches their coats. Okay. So basically, what we want to do is we want to have a nice, even, shiny coat. Okay. We hand rub those coats to bring all the oils out. It's like the bodybuilder that goes into competition. He gets all greased up. The reason why? You can see every muscle cut. That's the same thing we're doing here. We want to see every muscle cut. Nice shiny coats, not all bleached out stuff. So they'll be in the barn during the day. At night, out they go. They're out all night.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, they're out all night. They're out all night. Yeah, we can't leave them in the barn all the time. I mean, it'll be, oh my God, it's crazy in there. You know what I'm saying? So, so basically, yeah, they go out all night, and then they'll round them up. All right, round them up, and we bring them back in the barn. Okay, so basically, what we got here is, again, what the buyers are looking at is confirmation, right? And the things that we can do to change the confirmation. Obviously, they're going to look at the pedigree page. So here's like the catalog. Yeah, here's the catalog right here. Okay. So let's say, okay,
Now, his mother and father are big or small?
Well, that's interesting because he kind of looks like mom.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, mom is, and I'll tell you, we're going to get into mares a little bit, but mom's a little bit of a thicker, kind of stockier type of looking mare. One of the reasons why we went to early voting, and I'm going to talk more about this when we talk about mares, is early voting was a big sire. So we figured that cross would help out, help out the mom's more bulky sire, but we kind of pretty much got mom. Okay, so that's pretty much what the mom was doing. But in any event, so that's what we do the sales prep. Again, the buyers are going to take a look at this page and they're going to want to see certain things, okay? Like we have an Audible over there now, okay? And this is his page right there. Como chez soi, who's the first dam, all right? She's got what they call black type. Black type runner is anybody that finished first, second, third in a stakes race, okay? So basically last year, under your radar, broke his maiden here, went down to Kentucky Downs and was based about, he actually won, then they placed him second in a $1 million race, the juvenile stakes down there. So basically the half brother of this guy's already a stakes winner. So that's gonna be a positive thing as buyers look at that, okay? So the last thing we do before we bring these guys over to the sale, just like the sales over here, within 2 weeks, we have to do x-ray, okay? So the veterinary comes, what he's gonna do, he's gonna take 32 pictures. He's gonna take 32 pictures, pretty much this all bottom half right here, okay? Just to see if there's any abnormality, all right? If there are, he's gonna note it on his report, okay? So we have to do that. Then we have to scope the horse. What does scope the horse mean? They're gonna put the vet's gonna put the video scope down his nostrils, down in the throat, and what they're looking at is they're looking at this breathing passage. And the breathing passage on a thoroughbred looks like this. Okay, you see this big diaphragm going up and down? Okay, working on both sides. Okay? And then what they'll do is they'll grade it. If it's working big and normal, it gets an A. Okay, it might get an A plus. Okay?
Nobody.
If it's
Our
not
personal
working,
YouTube channel.
we're going to downgrade it. Or it might only be working on one side, which is a true nightmare. Then you're kind of down into the B's and have a problem. If a horse can't breathe, a horse can't run. Right? I mean, this is the bottom line. Horse can't breathe, horse can't run. So we have to put that video scope. All those x-rays and all that video scope goes to the auction house, okay? And they're posted there, okay? All right. So now we're all set to go, right? We got this guy sales prep the best we can do, right? We got this guy sales prep the best we can do, okay? We got the vets going, all set. We got a cosigner, meaning a salesperson that represents us at the sale. So we give it to a cosigner. Okay, ours we used to Denali and Summerfield. We give them the horse. They have stalls, and they're going to show the horse and talk about the horse. Okay, so life is good. All right, he's over to sales ground. People are doing exactly what's going on right here. They're going to start with a big list. Okay, here, you got 300 horses in the sale. They're going to start with a big list, and they're going to start looking at it. And then from that big list, the buyer's going to come down to a short list of ones that they're interested in. And once they get, what's that?
How many basically?
It all depends on who the buyer is. There's some guys that'll go through every horse in this book. Okay. There's other will take a look at pedigrees and stuff. They're shopping, and that's all they're shopping. So it really depends on. It really doesn't have to do with money. It all depends on it's their method to identify what they're doing. Okay. So this is the first point. Yeah. So this is the first point that they're gonna have to spend money. They have to call the vet, and what the vet's gonna do, he's gonna look at the X-rays and stuff. But he's going to go ahead and he's going to video scope the horse as well. Now, I know you sit there and say, geez, 2 weeks ago, didn't we just do the same thing, video scope? And you can see that video scope at the auction? Yeah, we did that. But this is the horse business. Nobody trusts anybody. Okay? So basically, they bring the vet in, and this is how important that breathing passage is. Back down the nose we go again, and they want to see, if it says A on that paper, they want to see A. You know what I'm saying?
All right. The problem.
Like, what's up, girls?
Oh, he's sacked out.
Come on over. All right. So what we got here, guys, is we got a couple mares with a couple foals still. They haven't been weaned off, so they're not what they call weanlings. Weanlings are when they wean off their mom. These guys have not been weaned off their mom because they're not quite ready yet. They're getting there, okay? Probably the next few weeks, okay? Usually they get weaned off somewhere between 5 to, on the outside it'll be 6 months, sometimes 4.5 months, but that's when mom and baby get separated, okay? What happens there is that we take the moms, we bring them up the street, and we put the babies in the barn, and for 2 days there's all kinds of screaming and crying and all kinds. It only lasts for 2 days, okay? Then they don't care. But I'll tell you what, there's a bunch of times where basically moms are kind of done with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're like, all right, get away from me. We're done. Okay, move on with the rest of your life. All right, let's talk a little bit about how we buy mares. Okay, so obviously these mares are all thoroughbreds. They were destined for the track. Okay, most of them ran on the track. Some might have not run on the track. All right, for various reasons. Okay, but let me tell you how we buy mares. Okay. First thing we do, just like buyers, we're looking to purchase a yearling. We want good confirmation from a mom. We want a mom that's straight. We want a mom with a long neck. We want mom that's got nice tall legs on her. We want mom that's got a physical body that, again, looks like that she was, or she still could be an athlete, and she might produce an athlete. So the late Wayne Lucas used to say, we had a couple people that worked for Wayne here for a long time. Mm-hmm. Wayne used to say, black kittens, black cats give you black kittens. And what he means by that is that if you got a mare that's crooked and turned, there could be a chance you're going to get a foal that's crooked and turned. And when you do, you're going to have a rough time selling them. Okay. So basically the first thing we want to do when we're buying a mom is we want good confirmation, just like we basically do when somebody's buying a yearling. Next thing we want to do is we want pedigree. All right, what is that pedigree? So again, we take a look at these pages here. I'll tell you what, we want to see this black type up and down this page. So notice this says first dam. Okay, who's the first dam? That's the mother. Second dam, that's the grandmother. Third dam, that's the great grandmother. All that black type means that these were horses that placed first, second, or third in a stakes race, or that they produced a horse that was first, second, or third in a stake race, or they were first, second, or third in a stake race. So when we look at pedigree, we want to see a robust black type family. Okay, that's one of the keys. So when we buy a mare, okay, we want to see at the very least if she's black type or her mom is black type. We don't want to buy a mare that's what they call blank and two. Blank and two means the mare's not basically any black type and the mom has no black type. We're not interested. Okay, so we don't want any black and two or blank and two. All right. So number one, confirmation. Number two, pedigree. All right. Basically, number three is race record. Okay, what kind of race record does she have? All right, well, here's the deal. If she's a grade 1 winner and she's got great confirmation and she's got a robust pedigree page, we can start at $1 million and go from there. Okay, and I mean go, you can go from there. All right, we kind of go the top end of the market. Everything is down to Lexington, Kentucky. All the big sire farms are down there. We ship after 30 days after they give birth. We ship mom and baby. So the baby's like 30, 45 days old on a van down to Kentucky. They go to a holding farm. We use Sally Thomas Thoroughbred. She holds them there until the breeding shed says, okay, bring them over. Mom goes over with baby. It's a big room, big padded room. Okay, there's 2 stalls. There's a male horse in the front. There's a female, your mare, in the back. Excuse me. Other way around. All right. That male horse is called the teaser or the tickler. What a job this guy's got. All he does is get mom ready. All right. So mom's got to get ready. Okay. They'll take mom, hook her up to the wall. This is all padded, hook her up. There's lots of handlers here. So this is not like, one guy running somebody back and forth. There's all kinds of handlers. Mom gets hooked up. They put a big leather cape over the top of mom. Then they bring the sire in. Okay. He does between 150 to 200 something covers during that 6 months period. So when he goes inside that shed, he knows exactly what's going on. All right. He'll go in, he'll jump up on top, he'll do his thing. There will be a vet there. Anything that doesn't quite make it in, okay, a vet can actually stuff it in there a little bit. He'll take a sample, make sure all the sperm's living, and then we cross our fingers that basically she gets covered. So we check her at 15 days, we check her at 30, we check her at 40. If she's good for 40, back in the van and back. If during that period of time she's not good, we have to recycle her, right? Get her ready again, and we bring her back in again, and we try it again. So it doesn't always happen on the first time.
And you pay every time?
No. So the way it works is this. The way it works, all the contracts are what they call stand-in nurse. So once mom gets covered and she comes back up here, we still don't pay any bill. But when we pay the bill is when she births her foal and that foal stands up and nurses, then we owe them money. So the foal's got to be born alive. The foal's got to be up in nursing. And if he's nursing, we owe them a check.
Hi, bud.
How you doing?
Uh-huh. That's what she said.
Just a beautiful piece of property, and it's just wonderful what he and his wife have been doing to bring this back to its former glory.
We used to do it 2 times
2 times a
a
week?
week, and it would have to be a lot. Yeah, to prepare. You're welcome to take it. It's from the couple into the museum.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Really great.
Thank you.
If you guys have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
And if you are in New York in the month of August, I would definitely recommend coming here. Old Tavern Farm, amazing tour. Second time.
Second time.
Bye.
Already have a wonderful day.
I hear.
No front door service.
And so ends our tour. We're going to go back to the van. We're going to go back to the van, get our pencil or a pen, which we forgot, and then head back to the track. Okay, we're heading back to the track. That is just a wonderful experience. It was $95 for each ticket plus fees, and that got you breakfast, which was $30 by itself, and track admission, which is another $10. So maybe about $50 or so for
The ride.
going to the for the ride.
For the ride over.
And the farm tour. It's amazing the information they share with you, and would definitely recommend doing this. I think this has been the best thing we have ever done at Saratoga.
And what the tour was, what, an hour and a half? Or
Easily
an hour?
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half? So well worth the money.
and the information they share and the free access to the grounds, definitely worth it. And now it's time to go to the track and lose money.